Hi, my name is Sandra Moulton, and with me today is Ryan Beal, and we're talking about moving to the cloud. Now, Ryan, I know you have a lot of experience with this, so what would you recommend to somebody that's planning out their infrastructure move to the cloud?
Yeah, moving to the cloud is great, but it's a large project. So one of the things that made our move to cloud successful was InfoScale.
InfoScale? Really? I thought that was just for on-premise data centers.
To start, think about application availability, right? And how much downtime can your business afford?
But why not just use multiple availability zones and regions? What do I need InfoScale for? Does this have something to do with that shared responsibility model I've been hearing about?
So it's true that cloud providers do offer highly available infrastructure, but the key thing to understand here is that they're providing the infrastructure. So this is stuff like your compute instances and the storage services that you buy in the cloud. So that gets managed by the cloud provider, but what about the applications that run on that infrastructure? And this is where you want InfoScale to provide application high availability and clustering services that ensure your application, so all the application processes and their dependencies, are all online. Now, if there's a problem and your application goes offline, InfoScale can bring that application back online, or it can actually move your application to a different system so it stays online.
And what if there's an outage? How would you bring your IT services back online?
If you don't have InfoScale, this can be a time-consuming manual process prone to errors. The cloud provider can fail over systems and infrastructure, but they have no visibility into the application or the dependencies of that application, so they can't ensure that your applications will actually come back online properly. InfoScale will automatically detect a failure in real time. It can recover to standby instances very quickly, under a minute, and can properly bring your IT services back online with the least possible amount of downtime. So InfoScale can even bring your IT services back online in a different cloud environment altogether.
Okay, so it's helping with application availability, but can it also help reduce cost?
InfoScale did help us improve application performance and also reduce some costs. And these were costs that are associated with things like cloud-based load balancing services, right? And so those are often single points of failure. They can also incur additional ingress and egress charges, right? So InfoScale can actually provide more advanced availability management for your applications than these cloud-native load balancing services. It can even be configured to provide application availability that spans cloud services. Right, so this lets you run your IT services using the most highly available hybrid cloud and multi-cloud architectures, and that significantly reduces application downtime in the event of something like, say, a cloud provider outage, for example.
And what about tools like Pacemaker?
Yeah, so tools like Pacemaker can be used within the cloud, but they can be very complex to manage, and typically they only work within a single cloud network. So that means you can't configure application failover or availability between different clouds or even on-premises data centers like what you can do with InfoScale.
So I know we have a lot of customers using InfoScale for storage in their data centers. Is that still relevant in the cloud?
So actually, I find that using InfoScale to provide shared storage in the cloud is actually one of the best reasons to use InfoScale in your cloud environment. So compared to using NFS-based storage services in cloud environments, InfoScale storage is much better suited for applications that have higher performance requirements. So InfoScale storage also eliminates security concerns that arise with NFS storage, which is inherently less secure and is visible by default to all systems across your cloud network, which can expose your data to unauthorized users who may be able to gain access to your cloud environment. So InfoScale allows you to use native cloud block storage services such as Amazon EBS or Azure Managed Disk services to create secure enterprise-grade shared storage that can be used within an application cluster. So using InfoScale shared storage in the cloud is actually quite ideal for enterprise applications because it can help decrease your costs and also improve your application performance and resiliency. InfoScale provides fault tolerance of your data and can be configured as shared storage not only within a single availability zone, but actually across availability zones and even regions. So with InfoScale, you get a sub-minute RTO as you do not have to detach or reattach storage volumes in the event of a failure. Now, important to note is that InfoScale also provides advanced data fencing capability. This ensures that your data is protected in the event of a system or network failure within your application cluster. So this is commonly known as a split brain scenario.
Before you leave, can you also share some insight on what you learned from migrating your data and applications to the cloud?
In our planning, we realized that if we wanted to use cloud native tools, we needed to use many different tools, especially since we wanted to use multiple cloud services. And we also wanted to avoid cloud vendor lock-in, right? So we found that data mobility is also a key benefit that InfoScale provides, which enables us to move our applications and data between cloud zones, regions, or even between cloud providers, anything we really want in that regard. It also allows us the opportunity to reverse gears and repatriate our data to an on-premises data center if we did, in fact, want to move in that direction. So with InfoScale's volume replicator, we were essentially guaranteed, optimized and safe replication of our data, no matter where we wanted to replicate that data to.
Wow, InfoScale really is invaluable to cloud deployments. Can you summarize those benefits one more time?
Overall, we found InfoScale allowed us to standardize on a common software layer that provided uniform application recovery capabilities in the cloud. So it provides us a way to keep our cloud costs down, application performance and availability up, as well as it helps us future-proof our operations for easier mobility. So kind of think of it as providing us a single solution for application mobility and portability across any platform. Now, this includes public and private clouds as well as on-premises data centers. So there's really a lot of flexibility in terms of architecting your applications to run in the best way possible. And so InfoScale does bring a lot to the table for both cloud and on-premises and hybrid environments.
Thanks so much, Ryan. That was very helpful. So that does it for us today. That's our talk on cloud migration. If you'd like to learn more, check out veritas.com/infoscale. Thanks again.